Okay, ready to start a brand new painting, and I've got it all masked off, ready to go, and lay in those nice juicy background colors and washes. And you know something, after 40 years of painting, that part is still just a little bit intimidating. Hello everybody, welcome back to the Mind of Watercolor. You know, we're going to talk about getting started. You know, you may have planned out a painting and you're ready to go, and you know, sometimes that can cause a little anxiety and hesitation, indecision. You're not really sure what technique you want to do. In my case, a lot of times I have too many techniques that I want to do. I can't choose between them. Or maybe you want to try a new technique and you're not really sure. So we're just going to talk a little bit about some things, and I've got 5 steps that will help you to get past that anxiety and get into it and really be excited about the work that you're doing. Okay, the first step is probably pretty obvious, and I think everybody probably does this, but just make sure you're set up and comfortable. Make sure you got your palette prepared. If you're going to spritz or use drop water into the painting or color, if you're going to pour, make sure you have that mixed up. Just be ready. Title for this series, The Mind of Watercolor. I want watercolor to partner with me and do some of the work. So sometimes when you're doing backgrounds, and if you do them like me and they're very wet and washy, things start to happen fast, and you gotta put things down fast, you gotta act fast. So just be prepared for that. I'm ready, let's go! Okay. Let me just kind of take you through my process, and that kind of brings me to step 2. Talk yourself through the process. All right, what inspired you to paint this to begin with? In this case, you know, these are wisteria vines. They're probably 100 or more years old. I took these photos at Biltmore Estate in North Carolina, and we go up there and visit a good bit, and I think they're cool. I've got several pictures of them, and I thought they'd make a great painting. There's a lot of neat contrast in here, darks and lights, and thought that would make a good watercolor. So as I look at that, I think, okay, I'm going to start with washes, basic washes. I have all this masked off, and so all of these washes can just kind of meld together. You know, we got some dark, and I can spray out that way, and we have some dark in here, can kind of spread out that way. And then on successive glazes and washes, I can go in and start defining the detail. Not totally and 100% know exactly how it's going to turn out. That's part of the magic of watercolor, and it's no more true anywhere than it is in backgrounds when you do very wet and wet wash techniques. So that's what you need to do. Once you're set up and comfortable, that was my step 1, and you're prepared for the techniques you think you want to use, then just talk yourself through the process. Rekindle your excitement for the painting and why it was you decided to paint this in the first place. My step 3 in approaching a painting, if you have techniques that you're not sure if they're going to work for this painting, or you have a new technique you've never used before, try it out. Do some little studies. This actually I did in prep for this painting, because this is kind of my palette. So I tried out some techniques. I'm thinking about using some drips and then making them run. You know, when you're in school and in your math class, this is like scratch paper. Okay, it's like working the problem out on scratch paper. That's all a study is. This is for a different one, but I was trying some techniques for creating some texture, and it's very useful. And plus, it's fun. I mean, you know, because you're experimenting, and I keep these around. Make some notes. You know, what did you do there? It's wet and wet. Did you tilt it and make it run? Did you use salt? Did you spritz into damp paint to make it bloom? What did you do? Pretty soon, a lot of these techniques you'll have for your favorites, and they'll just become second nature. And you know, when you start a painting, you won't be nearly so concerned or worried about what am I going to do? What should I have done? What will I do next time? How do I get this thing started? All right, so as I get into this brings me to step 4. Adapt to what's happening in front of you. Be open to surprises and react to what watercolor is giving you rather than try to force it too much. Okay, sometimes this means changing your plans midstream as you paint, but be flexible. If flexibility on these loose wash situations really bother you, then adopt maybe a little bit more deliberate painting style. I see an opportunity coming up where I can spritz some clear water here, so I'm going to do that. I want it to give me some water spots, and so that's what I did. I wasn't sure. I thought I might do that, but wasn't sure when. So anyway, also don't try to do too much as you're painting these. You can go back. You don't want to overwork it, but you can go back after it's dry and layer some wash effects on top of this. You don't want to do too many. That would be a form of overworking it. If you have really good paper, though, it shouldn't be a problem. I'm going to do more washes at the bottom, and it should work out pretty well. And that brings me to my final step. Embrace failure as a teacher. If you've really flubbed up the painting, that's fine. Treat it as a study. Analyze what you did wrong, experiment with some other techniques, and just keep learning. Embrace failure as a teacher happily and positively. You'll learn so much that way. Okay guys, before I let you go, I have this last minute edit here. I ran across a video just yesterday over the very same subject about how to approach fear and anxiety and getting started and looking at that blank sheet of paper and what do we do? Experienced watercolorist up in Canada named Angela Fehr. She has just made a video on this very same subject, covers it from a slightly different angle, dealing with the negativity and the psychology involved and why we start thinking the things that we do and how to combat that, and just keeping this fun. We're not in it for the anxiety, who needs that, right? Who needs stress? So go see her video. It's very supplemental to what we're doing here, and it's part of what I want to do with the Mind of Watercolors. I want to create a community of watercolors where we can share ideas and just share our thoughts, and all just really get into loving this medium. So Reese buddy, what do you think? We off to a good start? I think we're off to a good start. I look forward to finishing this painting in future episodes. Maybe I'll share some more tips and techniques with you on that along the way, so I hope you'll tune into those. Hope you'll try the 5 steps that I mentioned, see if that works for you. If you have a system, share that with me. Let me know how you get started. Maybe it's not a problem for you. Maybe you can't wait to get paint down on the paper. Give your pointers and techniques. This has been a help to you. I hope you'll like the video, hope you'll subscribe, and we'll see you next time.